Hi, we're going live in 30 seconds to the radio. So tune in 88.7 and 90.3 FM. I'm trying to get us both in. I think we're going to do it that way. I don't know. So bear with me. Go Citadel, you can say hello.
Hello, welcome. Very excited.
Yes, it is. Very exciting. So make sure you're tuning in and let's have a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's still playing. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Radio Northern Beaches, 88.7 and 90.3 FM. You're listening to Melissa here, and we've got the Hummingbird Talks happening. They happen every Wednesday at 11 a.m. and we talk about spirituality, health, and wellness. And the reason why the show came about is I had an instinct or an idea to start spreading some news or start educating the audience or people out there about different therapies and different thoughts on spirituality, and helping people create their own ideas. So I have different guests on each week, and we just talk about spirituality, health, and wellness. So I'd like to welcome my guest for this week. Her name is Citadel. She is a breathwork practitioner. She is a sound healer, an intuitive healer as well, but she's also a singer-songwriter, so quite a few things under your belt. Is that right?
Yeah, I like to say I'm multi-passionate.
Love it, multi-passionate. And it's a thing out there where people don't have one direct thing that they do. They just love doing everything. So
yeah, that's right. I think along the way, anything that excites me or that feels fun, I'll just start learning about or going down the rabbit hole. It just becomes another tool in my tool belt. So I just go with that flow.
Yeah, perfect. So with the show today with Citadel, we are going to be talking about moon circles. So one of the passionate things that she does is that she does run moon circles on the Northern Beaches, and she's been doing so for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm getting that right.
Mm-hmm.
So with these moon circles, it's a great opportunity for women and men to get together, to connect with the moon, as well as just, have a think about their lives. Is that really the intention? Or
Yeah, I guess it's a beautiful opportunity to stop and pause in our busy lives. And just get clear on what's going on in my life, what's not serving me, what can I let go of or move away from, so I can create space to receive all the beautiful things that I'm calling in my life. So there's that in tuning in and checking with yourself. But also other things that have sort of come along with it are connecting to community, so other men and women who are on the same path and wanting to make the world a better place or get clear within themselves. So there's that too. There's been so many other benefits, like I guess tuning in more with nature. So I guess when I came off the pill and started connecting with the moon, my menstrual cycle synced up with the moon. That was so intense and crazy. I couldn't believe that. And that I'd never known before that menstrual cycles are the exact same cycle as the moon.
yeah, I do.
No one had told me that before.
Yeah, no one teaches you that in school, really. So it sounds fabulous, and I think it's an amazing work what you're doing there. What we're going to do is that we are going to talk more about these moon circles and the benefits and the cycles of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to touch a little bit on inspiration, because you are multi-passionate. But the first thing we're going to do, we're actually going to play a song by yourself, and it's called Birth of the Wolf. Amazing song and really great to get us started with the show. So enjoy this, guys. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Love it. How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, just guide me because I'll just keep going
Yeah.
on and on.
That's my intention. So, guys, with my... there we go. So, guys, with my intention with the guests is that I do want them to free flow with their talking, and I just have to pull them in when I feel we need to.
Yeah.
But you're talking perfectly,
Thank
so...
you.
And it's a great intro, so we can expand on that as well.
Yeah, cool.
It is a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it?
That it's live.
Yeah.
Like, there's that element, which is, yeah.
But
It's a good challenge.
Yeah, it's a good challenge, and also I don't have to think about editing afterwards. It's just like,
yeah.
it's done. It's kind of
Yeah, totally.
done and dusted.
Yeah.
And it is that, you know, a bit more like, okay,
Yeah.
let's get it done. So yeah, it's quite good that way.
Hi everyone, I'm live on Radio Northern Beaches. You can tune in 90.3 and
Yeah.
88.7.
0.7. And the website's rnb.org.au.
rnb.org.au
Yeah.
is where you can listen online. So at the moment, we're playing one of my songs called Birth of the Wolf, so you can't hear it now, and we're just chatting because the song's on radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi Brittany. Hi.
Nice. Okay. So welcome back, guys. That was Citadel with Birth of the Wolf, and a perfect song to get this show open because I've actually got the artist with me, Citadel. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Thank you. We're going to be, this is the Hummingbird Talks, so this show happens every Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about moon circles today because that's one of the things that you're passionate about. You've run it for 3 years. So one of the questions, because you went through a whole list of benefits just before we went to the song that, you know, it's time of reflection, time of connecting. You know, the moon cycles are pretty much the same flow as, you know, a female's menstruation cycle as well. So that's, you know, an interesting fact. But I think I just want to start off with, how did these moon circles come about? Like, what made you go, oh, I should start something like this?
So it would have been maybe 3.5 years ago. I started just doing a ceremony by myself in my living room, and just loving what it brought into my life. So I love ritual.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like I'm anchored into this world, and it sort of gives me signposts throughout my day and throughout my year. Gives my life so much meaning. It enriches everything I feel.
Yeah.
So I started doing these ceremonies just on my own, like doing meditation, and then some crystals and lightings and stuff, and just writing down what I wanted to let go of.
Yeah.
And then I guess it was my husband started joining me, and then a friend would, and then I think 2 other friends came, my husband and I. And at the end they said, like, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
you should start doing this. And I was really passionate about building the spiritual community on the Northern Beaches. So at the time, there wasn't that much happening in terms of moon circles and sound healing, and not at all breathwork. I don't remember anything like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have to go to Newtown or Bondi or Surrey Hills to do these beautiful ceremonies. So
That's where the peak is, isn't it,
Totally.
in those areas?
Yeah, and so I thought, you know, if I wave my freak flags, then
Yep.
maybe the people will come. So I was really, really scared at that time to start doing something. I had so much fear over judgment and what would these people think, like, and you know, that imposter stuff, like, who am I? I've just been doing this in my living room. I ain't no moon, like all this stuff like going through my head. And then I just thought it just felt right, and it felt exciting and fun, and that's what I usually follow, a bit of a challenge. So I booked a space and, you know, put the thing up on Eventbrite, and the people started coming. It's pretty amazing. Like now, I think there's been like hundreds of people that have come through. You know, people come each month, and new people come, and I've just watched the community grow, and it's something that everyone wanted. So I've just kept doing it.
Yeah, nice. And I think it's fantastic actually, because not many of us think of the moon and how much of an effect it has. It's starting to become the rage that every second person will go, oh, it's a full moon tonight, and you know, you've got to watch out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think people don't fully understand the power of it by saying that. The first question I want to ask is, you did mention rituals, because we're going to talk about the moon phases and the moon cycles pretty soon, but you mentioned rituals, and that might be, you know, a bit scary for people, thinking, oh my God, it's a seance, it's this kind of ritual, you know, it's some kind of religious ritual. But explain what you mean by rituals, because they could just be the smallest things, like brushing your teeth.
Totally. Yeah. So ritual for me are those things that you do regularly, and that they feel like juicy and goddessy and fun. But they can be like, you know, every morning before you have your smoothie, you just you give thanks. You just think, thank you for this beautiful food. It's about doing something consciously. I feel like a ritual is. So that can be, you know, you pick your child up from preschool on a Thursday. Every Thursday you walk past a flower bed and you pick a flower and you smell it. Like it can be anything really. It's not at all a religious thing in the way I practice it, but you know, before you have a bath, you always put some essential oils, or you light some sage, and these things bring you into the physicality of what it is to be human. So the smelling of the flower, the burning of the whatever it is, it's connecting with one of our senses.
Yes.
And so it makes you embody the moment. It brings what you're doing into your body.
Yeah, I love that you said that it's a human element to activate one of our senses, really, at least through sense of smell, sense of sight, sense of hearing. Absolutely 100% agree that we do need to start activating more human behaviour rather than just going, okay, we're on that grind, you know, 9 to 5 job. Okay, let's wake up, let's just quickly have breakfast, let's just go. So conscious thinking for you is how would you describe conscious thinking? Because I think there's different explanations and it's becoming a buzzword as well. So how would you describe conscious thinking?
So there's this part of ourselves that observes what we're doing. So sometimes when we're caught up in something, we're doing something physically, but our mind is thinking about what we have to do later. We have to pick this person up, or we have to go do the grocery shoppings, or maybe we're replaying a conversation in our head that didn't go well, and we wish we'd said this, and did that person think this about me? That's unconscious, because in this moment you are gardening, but your mind is elsewhere. So when you're conscious, you are in the present moment, connected to the physicality of what you're doing, and you're in that observing place. So that's what I feel like being conscious is aware of like how you are in a certain moment, or how you're just aware of your surroundings and you're aware of yourself. Yeah,
perfect. So being present in the moment, being aware of your surroundings, rather than thinking, you know, future or past, you're just literally in that present moment. Hey, I'm gardening today, let's just enjoy that.
Totally.
Yeah, I think we need to get back to that, you know, that conscious thinking, more being in that present moment. So this is why I love this topic, because the question that just came to mind is, if you are doing moon circles and you connected with the moon and it felt right, why did do you not connect with the sun? Like, what's so special about the moon that, you know, this whole moon circles came about?
I guess I love I love the sun. I think it's so healing, and we have so much fear around like getting sunburnt, and I love the sun, but there's something about the moon and its phases that's really human.
Yeah.
So we are cyclical beings. Sometimes we feel up, sometimes we feel down, sometimes we feel extroverted, sometimes we're more insular.
Yeah.
And the moon, so the full moon is reflective of letting go.
Yeah.
So that's when the moon sheds.
Yeah.
And the new moon is reflective of fertility and creation and birthing.
Yeah.
So I just feel like these themes, like, they're really fun to connect with something and almost let it guide us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So the full moon, when the moon is full, that's the letting go, that's the shedding stage.
Because it's about to fall away and start again. It's the little
Ah.
slither.
Never knew that. Never knew. That's probably why we get a bit crazy around that time, would you say? Or
Yeah, so there's lots of theories, but so a lot of women maybe that are listening might have noticed they're connecting their menstruation with the moon.
yeah.
And so a lot of women bleed on the full moon. Some bleed on the new moon, and there's like whichever you kind of connect to. But there is this theory that women are crazy when they're bleeding. I don't like to buy into that, but that's the story.
I've never heard it, so let's cancel it.
Yeah. So I guess if more women are connecting with the moon in pagan times and bleeding on the full moon, then women are crazy at the full moon. There was that connection that kind of it's an old story.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that explains a little bit of the full moon. Yeah. But do you notice your behaviours or the behaviours of others change? Because that's when I say it's becoming popular, that's what people start to notice. Like they look at the full moon and they go, "Oh, it's a full moon. The kids are crazy. This is happening." So, what sort of behaviours can we expect around the full moon or the new moon? Like, what should or shouldn't we be doing?
I don't necessarily feel like the full moon or the new moon changes my energy too much, but the themes of whatever if it's a full moon in Sagittarius or a full moon in Cancer, and those themes connected to astrology. I'm not an astrologer, but I follow lots of astrologers, and whatever they're sort of saying is the theme or what's kind of happening, I really, really feel that.
Okay.
So the more you connect with the moon, the more attuned to that energy you'll become, and I notice the changes and the themes around those whatever planet the moon is in.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So I'm going to ask you the second question later, but so just put a pin in the astrologer bit. But can you just give an example of the last full moon? What kind of theme was around that? Just to give people context of what you mean by theme and the full moon and planetary alignment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I might speak of full moon in Sagittarius because that's my sun sign. So, for example, the full moon in Sagittarius, like Sagittarius themes are the seeker, wanting to grow and learn more and explore and not be bound. So the themes that can show up around that are, testing, where do you feel bound, what can you release that's making you feel trapped, or like limiting your sense of freedom, what relationships are taking away perhaps your independence. So it's like taking the themes and the energy of that Sagittarius and then applying it to like the moon and letting go, or perhaps the new moon
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of noticed is like that's how astrologers kind of apply it.
Nice. It's nice to have that breakdown because a lot of people do read. I used to do it as well when I was a kid. I loved reading my horoscope at the back of the newspaper, like every day or every weekend kind of thing. So it's nice to have something different there, or another context, another layer, another aspect to it, because we don't think of the themes or think of what's really behind it. It's just like, okay, yes, you're going to find love today, and it's like, oh, whereabouts kind of thing. But there's something deeper in that, and I suppose by going deeper and connecting into those themes, what would be the benefit for someone to do that?
I guess what I've noticed is that when we're all going through the same things, like sometimes, you know, everyone gathers at the full moon circle and everyone's like, oh God, this has been a doozy or whatever it is. And everyone's just been really having a hard time, like emotionally feeling like they're being churned up. And then other times, you know, so the Cancer full moon, Cancer's all about emotions. So some people were feeling really, really heavy and processing lots of like, you know, sadness and grief, those heavier emotions. And I was actually feeling like elated and joyful. And it's just, I guess, honouring that, like, yeah, within this emotional landscape, you can feel those ones, but like also enjoy when you're feeling up and happy. And I guess it just gives you compassion for yourself and for others in that, like, you know, we are nature. We're made out of water, and the moon affects the tide. So the moon affects us, and let's just be patient and compassionate with ourselves and one another.
Yeah, perfect. I love that you said that the moon affects water, and we're water. So, you know, when we think of high tide, low tide, that's all cycles of the moon connecting to the moon. Is that right?
Yeah. So the moon controls tides. So the tide is always changing. Yeah. And it's never the low tide at the same time every day. And so it's a reflection of ourselves. Like, we're never the same every day. We are emotional beings, and we go through phases, and we appreciate and, you know, adore nature and the way it blossoms and it grows, and we have to see that within ourselves too.
Yeah, nice. I love what we're talking about. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go to one of your songs. It's called The Divine Feminine. So tell us a bit about this song and what the meaning is behind this.
Yeah, cool. So I still feel like I didn't write this song.
Okay.
A lot of my songs just channel through me. Yeah. And often come before I've completely understood something. So at the moment I'm writing a song about bloodline and ancestry stuff. Yeah. And I wrote it a year ago, and now I'm doing this work. So it's just crazy. These songs come to teach me too. Yeah. But this song, Divine Feminine, is about, so within all of us, men and women or non-binary, we all have these parts. It's like the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So it's not a gender, it's the energy we have within us. So there is, you know, unhealthy masculine traits, there is unhealthy feminine traits, but the divine masculine are the healthy kind of traits within us. Yeah. And this song is kind of a celebration of divine feminine. So, you know, we've been pushed aside, and that part of men and women has been swept under the rug for so long. Yeah. So it's about, like, it's our time, like, let's start rebalancing ourselves and celebrating the intuitive, nurturing, softer side of us so that we can heal our society. Yeah, nice. Absolutely love it. I think definitely that's the thing that most people are going through now, to really understand their feminine and masculine energy. So this is the perfect song. So guys, you're listening to Radio Northern Beaches 88.7. I've got Citadel with me. I'm just about to play her song, Divine Feminine, and we'll be back after that. So enjoy. Thanks, guys. Really well. Loving it. Yeah. Guys, oh, you're not seeing me, but that's all right. Hey, Lachlan. Blast from the past. How you doing?
funny, I just saw your name on my contacts before the show. So, hi. What was I going to say? Yeah, loving that. Like the information that you're giving, I'm going, yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, just letting it go. Like same with you, we're just kind of letting it go where it wants to go. It's really nice.
Yeah, just let it go because what I found when I first started this show, I was kind of like, hi, hi. What I found when I first started doing this show, I was trying to hold back and like really just go, okay, the everyday person doesn't really knows a little bit, but not too much. And I'm like, no, like let's just flow. They can catch up and they can get in contact.
That's what Google's for.
Yes, exactly. How can people get in contact with you? I'm going to do another video with Citadel's contact details because she's running a moon circle on February the 7th. I saw that in your email. Great idea. So how can people get in contact with you?
So I'm most active on Instagram, and that's at Citadel Soul, as in soul within, music. Or Facebook too, Citadel Soul Music.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen to music, you can just search Citadel.
Yeah.
On iTunes, Amazon, all the things, Spotify.
Yeah, so Spotify is where I'm playing your list of songs now. But if I can say, like, it's so intriguing what she's been speaking about. And hopefully after this show, you guys will see the moon in a different light. Yes, and I love the fact that you said that, you know, the moon and the tides change. So we need to change as well. A lot of people think we stay in the one spot and that's it. But we need to change as well.
Yeah, and like honouring, like when we're bleeding, like I always used to just try and keep up in a masculine way. And now on my first day, I'm just relaxing.
Yeah.
And I'm like honouring the feminine part of me rather than just like pushing through, taking Nurofen and pushing through. Like that just makes no sense to me now.
No, it doesn't. If I look at the screen, it's on because I've just got to get the song ready, so it's not that I'm not here.
No, go for it.
Okay.
All good. Hi Brittany, hi G. Hi, you guys. I can't see what your name is. Thanks for being here.
Welcome back, guys. You're listening to Radio Northern Beaches 88.7 and 90.3. My name's Melissa. You're listening to the Hummingbird Talks. You can find us on your radio station, so 88.7 and 90.3 FM. You can also hear us on the website, which is rnb.org.au. Now, before I continue with my guests, I do want to make a community service announcement. So how I came about with my radio show is through doing a workshop. So it's doing a workshop through Radio Northern Beaches, and the Radio Skills Workshop is a fun and engaging introduction to a wide range of radio broadcasting skills presented by a local community radio station, Radio Northern Beaches. So the radio course is aimed at people who are interested in potentially presenting their own weekly show at Radio Northern Beaches, people interested in broadcast media as a career, or anyone looking for a fun and challenging weekend experience. So it's only held once every quarter. I know it's coming up in February. I even said to Citadel, you know, maybe she should have her own radio show. So she might be thinking about it, but what you can do, you can book through www.nbcc.nsw.edu.au is the website to go to book in for the Radio Skills Workshop. And literally that's how I started. So I just did the radio workshop. I had an idea for a show, and this is where we are today. So welcome back to the show. I've got Citadel. She's a breathworker, intuitive practitioner. She's also a sound healer, singer-songwriter, but she also runs moon circles every month on everyone. She's been doing that for the last 3 years here on the Northern Beaches, but hopefully she can take it global.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Before we went to the break and went to the song, we were talking about how the moon actually controls the tidal of the waves. It's changing. With every full moon, it's about shedding and letting go, and with every new moon, it's about creation and bringing in the new. So what I'd like to know, and probably the question I was probably holding off from speaking, is the question is that, because you mentioned astrology previously, and how moon circles are different, can you describe the difference between an astrologer, looking at, telling your signs and stuff like that, from actually connecting with the moon and kind of like bringing it more into your life? Does that make sense, that question?
Yeah, so I guess there's so many different moon circles, and I think the style or the theme is really dependent on whoever's holding space. So
yeah,
I consider myself a healer, so my intention with the circle is to create a space for everyone to let go of all the crap that they've been holding on to.
yeah,
So that's why I use breathwork and sound healing and journaling and writing down and just connecting. Whereas I guess if an astrologer was holding space and their focus, I guess, would be more on where the moon is and what planets are in the sky at that point, and then relating that to the people that were there. I guess everyone's style will be different depending on what tools they bring to the table, but I love adding breathwork and sound healing. I think it's really nurturing.
Yeah, breathwork and sound healing, that's something I've been experiencing for the last couple of weeks. And we did actually have the last show, probably 2 weeks ago, we had a sound healer and breathworker on here, and he was talking about the same thing. It's very, very powerful stuff. And with letting go, like, it's probably a question I've really asked all my guests about letting go, because that's really what the work is. Why is it important to let go, and how do we bring in that full moon to help us let go?
Cool. So I feel like there's different elements to letting go. So it's really easy for someone to say, just let it go, and I guess it is relatively simple, but it's so hard for our minds to release something once we kind of got a hold of it.
Yeah,
so
because the brain wants to make it right before we let it go.
Yeah, and the ego loves to just hold on to stuff so that it feels right. Like, people find it really hard to forgive because they feel like by forgiving someone, then the other person won, and so there's this really, really strange energy to it. But letting go can be releasing or letting go of holding on too tightly to a relationship, a friendship, or a partner. Or it can be letting go of, I don't know, eating chocolate after dinner because you know that it makes you feel sluggish. Or it can be letting go of a pattern of going to bed late and waking up late that is not serving you. Or it can be, once you start doing this work and you can identify self-limiting beliefs, or like fear of failure. So when we do the journaling and the writing down, it's looking at these parts where you see, I have more potential than what these things are giving me in my life. So that's a letting go. And also emotions is a big part. So
how do you describe emotions because I'm a kinesiologist, and that's the main focus in how I work with my clients. How do you describe emotions and working with that with your clients, or with people doing moon circles?
Yeah, so I feel like if we properly processed our emotions when we felt them in the moment, then we wouldn't have this backlog and storage of toxic emotions in our system. But as a culture and as a society, we don't know how to feel our emotions properly.
No, we don't.
No, so we just avoid, suppress, repress, and then that energy doesn't go, when we don't allow ourselves to feel it properly and release it through, yelling, screaming, crying, whatever it is, in a healthy way, the energy doesn't leave our body, so it stays in here. Anger, resentment, grief, sadness, depression, like these really low, dense emotions stay in our bodies, and then they manifest as illness, as pain, and everyone's walking around with pain or illness or rashes or whatever it is, and it's just our bodies are just screaming out for us to take care of them and release and let go, but we just don't feel safe, or we feel too much, and so we just keep it all bottled inside. So letting go is about learning how to release, like in the moment, just let yourself cry, and don't apologize to the people around you that you're crying, like it's so natural. But also then once you can do that, it's about then starting to unpeel the onion layers of emotion that we've stored in our bodies for our whole life.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that it's like peeling back an onion, because people think that there's some magic bullet, I'll just go to one moon circle or I'll go to one session and I'm healed. It's not the case, is it? Like, I feel like, and I'm not sure, I want to hear your take on this, it's like once we peel back one layer, we start to open like a whole of you, you know what I'm saying, don't you? And we start to pull back quite a few, like more layers just come up. Would you agree in what I'm saying, or what's your take on it?
Yeah, you kind of feel like you do the work and you process stuff and let go and forgive or whatever it is, and then you're like, okay, I'm good for a while, and you're like, oh, here we go, here's another layer, and it doesn't stop, because once you're on this path to self-development and knowing yourself more and healing, like there's always work to do, there's no rush, but we have like our whole life of stuff we haven't processed, so there's a lot of work to do. Yeah,
you brought up so many good points. The fact that you said, hey, if you're crying, it's okay. I actually interacted with someone probably about 2 weekends ago, and she goes, I'm angry, I'm always lashing out. I'm like, it's okay. And she was like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, she didn't say it, but I could understand the expression on her face. She was like, what do you mean you're telling me it's okay to be angry? I think people forget that, we've got the scale of emotions for a reason, from resentment, anger, frustration to enlightenment and joy. I think it comes back to that human element, that human, connection. We're actually here on this earth to be human. So why suppress your crying? Why suppress your anger? Let it come out in a healthy way.
Yeah, and there's something really beautiful about sitting in a circle. And so a lot of people cry at the circle because it's emotional and they haven't looked deep within for so long or ever. And then they get emotional and cry, and it's so beautiful to watch someone crying and be held by a circle. Like it's how it's meant to be. I feel like we don't do that anymore, and we're not witnessed or held. Everyone wants to tell you what to do or give you some advice, and it's just be silent and hold space and just let you process.
Yeah, and you're right, just let you process. And that's why I try and aim with my clients as well. It's like, I'm telling you the story, but it's like, is that resonating with you? Like, process it for yourself. Like, how's it feeling? What's actually coming up? But the thing that you've been mentioning for a couple of times is holding space. So what does that mean, to hold space? It's not just, hey, I'm listening to you, I'm in front of you, I'm letting you talk. It's a bit more than that. So what's your meaning of holding space for someone, or holding space in these circles, in these moon circles? What do you mean by that?
So I guess a lot of the time that we're interacting with people, as the person opposite you is talking, you're thinking about what you can say next. So it comes back to that conscious awareness. So when you are listening to someone, you're actually listening to what they're saying and not needing to offer advice or jump in. It's holding space is about like energetically sort of holding them. So in the moon circles, I'm there to support everyone. So I've done my Reiki too. So I Reiki the room,
Yes.
and through the breath work, I'm helping them, I'm holding them energetically, so that it's about feeling safe, it's about feeling heard,
Yeah.
and it's about being seen just as you are, and no one trying to change you or tell you what to do. It's about the listener being like, you're the boss, you know you better than I do, I'm just going to support you.
Yeah, nice. And we don't get that very often. We've always got people wanting to go, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. But it's like, who am I to tell you that?
Yeah.
If I can say, you know, if someone is to walk into one of your moon circles, and we've just talked about holding space, people crying, people, you know, expressing their emotions but also feeling supportive, is that what they can expect if someone is to go, or what can you expect from attending a moon circle or connecting with the moon? What can you expect?
So every moon circle is different, so it depends on the collective, so who showed up, and there's no mistake why you are here at this particular moment.
Yes.
Everything's beautiful and perfect. So sometimes it will be an emotional evening where people are letting themselves release and cry. Sometimes there won't be tears and it will feel more uplifting, but I guess with the full moon, the themes of letting go, everyone's thinking and feeling all the things that aren't serving them. So it is a heavier practice, but it only needs to be as heavy as you're willing to go. So if you don't want to go that place, it's all good. Like, no one, you can come and have the experience be exactly what you need it to be.
Yeah.
Through the breath work, that's an intense practice.
Yes. Very intense.
Yes.
But so worthwhile, if I can say.
Oh, it's incredible. I'm obsessed.
Yes.
And I would say, like, the deeper and the faster you breathe, the more intense your experience. So if you don't want to go there today, just breathe softer and you'll have a more gentle experience. So you always have control, and I'm not going to force you to have an experience that you don't want to have.
Yes. I love that you say that, because that's one of the first things I say to my clients. You're in control. If it's too overwhelming, we stop and that's it. So perfect. We're about to go to one of your songs, and after the song, I'm going to change things up, because I really had this thought that we need to talk about inspiration, how people get inspired, what it takes you to get inspired, or how inspiration really flows for you. So I'm going to change directions just a little bit after the song. But the question I want to ask you before we do go into the song, if someone wants to connect with the moon and they're just unsure, what's the first question, or what's the first step that they can do to really start that journey of going to your moon circles, or going to a moon circle, or just starting at home like you did? What's the first step, or what's the question that they can ask?
I would say just start looking up at the moon, like in the nighttime. You'll be surprised, like, the more you connect with it, the more you notice it there, and it just makes me feel connected to nature. Just start looking at the moon, and just pop in your calendar when it's a full moon and when it's a new moon, and just start noticing, like, the beauty of it. I would say is the first step.
Yeah, and it is. I remember taking a drive once, just going fishing late at night with a couple of friends and some family, and the moon was just so amazing, so bright, so clear. And obviously when you move away from the city as well, it gets clearer. So out in the country, in the rural areas, it really gets clearer. Just amazing stuff. The song that I'm going to play is Woken Up. Do you think that's a good choice for what we've been talking about?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about this song. What's this song about?
So this song it's a song for all those people going through some tough times. So they might be doing this work that we've been speaking of, doing the digging, and this is like, you're not alone, like, I've been here, like, I've got you, listen to this song, it'll make you feel better.
Yeah, so we're going to hold space for people by playing this song, so hopefully it inspires you. We're going to come back and talk about inspiration, but here's Woken Up by Citadel. Enjoy this song, guys. Amazing.
Yay, it's fun.
Yeah, it's feeling good.
Mm.
I love just letting things flow.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people watching, so hi again to Lachlan. I might say hi. Catherine, hi, I haven't seen you in a while, part of my networking group, so I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in February. Is there anyone that you want to say hi to?
I think I've said hi to the friends that are on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, we've been talking about flow, and both of us, I'm an Aquarian, so we don't like structure or rules. You're a Sagittarius by the sounds of it. So we're in that same air sign. I want you guys to try it, actually. I don't ask this of you guys, but try and get more flow and just letting things be, because I think a lot of what's come up for me this year is about control. And it is about connection and human connection as well, but it's interesting to be able to hand things over to someone else or to the higher power and just let things flow.
Yeah, I feel like the opposite of control is trust.
Yes! It's like, oh my God, I have to hand it over to someone. I've loved what you've been saying.
Yeah, this has been fun.
It's been good, really good. So your next one's on the 7th of Feb.
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts is it?
It's at Power Living in Manly. It's a yoga studio.
They're on the Corso, or where are they?
Yeah, they're on the opposite in situ, the bar, or they're opposite the hold.
Okay.
Sydney Road.
Sydney Road. Okay. I know the Corso. So guys, check out Citadel in the Feb 7th for the moon circles. If you type in Manly, Power Living Manly, obviously it's going to come up in your Google. It's very well worth it. So we're just about to go back on. So guys, welcome back. That was Woken Up by Citadel. I've got the artist with me. Can you hear me now?
No.
Oh, it seems we're having a bit of trouble, but hopefully you can hear me now.
I can hear you through just normal.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it might be their headset. So bear with us for 1 second, but I've got the artist, perfect. I've got the artist Citadel with me. We've been talking about moon circles because she is a breathwork practitioner, sound healer, and intuitive healer. She also runs moon circles on the Northern Beaches every month. She's been doing it for the last 3 years, and it's something that, would you say your life is guided by the moon now? Like there's never a day or a month that you don't go without connecting with the moon?
Yeah, I'd say not every day, but you'd be so surprised that once you start just noting when the full moon is, when the new moon is, like that month comes around so quickly.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's like, it's just a beautiful time to remind you to stop and check in, because it's every month. So.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And us females know about every month, don't we?
We do.
I kind of wanted to go in a bit of different direction because we've got probably about 5-10 minutes left of the show. And it really came prevalent. It was really quite strong for me to ask this about inspiration, because you are a singer-songwriter, as well as, you know, you're multi-passionate, which I love that term. Where do you get your inspiration from? Like, how does let's start with that question, because I've got a whole list of other questions to ask, but let's start, where do you get with your inspiration from?
As a songwriter, I get my inspiration from my life and what I'm going through. So I've been writing songs since I was 15, and it's therapy for me. It's just like when I couldn't say what I wanted to say, you know, years ago, I'd just write a song about it. So it's always been really healing for me. But as I started moving more into spirituality and like serving the world, now I'll just meditate before I sit down at the piano, and it's like, what do we need to hear? What do we need to hear now? And I'll receive like an image, or I'll just see like where my hands are on the piano, and then I just let spirit guide me into creating whatever it is we need. And sometimes my inspiration and creativity flows really naturally, and I'll write a song in 10 minutes. I'm like, boom.
Yeah, done.
But other times I'll sit down at the piano and it just feels clunky, and so now I trust.
Yes.
And if it's not feeling fun,
Yeah.
I don't write a song, or I don't play my piano and sing. For me, it's such a passion and a joy for me, and if I'm not feeling joyful or passionate about it, I'm not going to force it. So inspiration is quite sporadic for me, and mystical, I would say.
Yeah, nice word for it. And I think it kind of ties in while we were playing that song, your last song, Woken Up. We were just having a brief chat about control and trust. So I think a lot of us in society, especially me, well, not especially, but including me, we're going through that throes of letting go of control and moving into trust. So how long did it take you to understand the inspiration, the creativity, going from I need to write a song now to like, no, if it's not working, it's okay, I'm going to move on? How long did it take to kind of master that?
I've never been a perfectionist, so I don't have that part of me that like sits down and will just play my instrument for hours. Like I'll play for like 40 minutes and like, no, I'm over this now, and I'll go do something else. Like, so I've always had that like flux state. And just kind of honoured it. But once I started to understand my human design, have you heard of human design?
No, I haven't. So yeah,
this will blow your mind.
Yes, please do.
So I started learning a bit about human design, which is I can't even explain it in the amount of time we have. But it just gave me permission to honour the way that I am.
Yeah, nice.
And honour that multi-passionate side of me, and following what lights me up, and when it doesn't light me up, let it go, because I've taken and got what I need from whatever it is I was obsessed with and learning, and there'll be something else that I can share and learn. Yeah,
it goes back to that, the ego and the subconscious wanting to make things right, so you'll obsess over something until it's right. In a way. So is that the same for inspiration? We'll go into it until we go, yep, that's right, and then move on. Yeah,
it's like it's so hard to articulate, but it's like there's something flowing through me, and I'm really excited, and I'm just like feeling so much joy in the process. And then it's almost like I hit a bit of a roadblock, like I don't know where to go with the next section of the song, or the words, the lyrics just stop flowing through me, and I'm like, okay, that's enough for today. It's not flowing anymore, because I have that, it's just like such ease, such effortless ease, that it's like, well, if it can be like that, I just want it to be like that all the time.
Exactly. We kind of, I know what you're saying. It is hard to articulate, and I kind of want to ask you, because I'll give you an example, because you've got, in a way, it sounds like you've really mastered your inspiration or that creativity, that flow. People ask me, oh Mel, like you're doing like radio, like this is one example. Oh, you're doing this. How did you decide to do this? And I'm just like, well, I just knew I had to do it, kind of thing. It wasn't any question. There was no other thought. So similar to this, like doing this radio show, I'll just give you one example. It was like I saw the workshop that I mentioned. I'm like, yep, I have to do it. There's no other thought. There's nothing. This is something that I have to do. So the question that I want to ask you is, do you have an explanation of where this inspiration or where this creativity actually comes from? Because me going, okay, yeah, I have to do this, that's not me, Mel, going, oh my God, Mel, you should do radio. That's something else, right? Yeah. So how do you describe that something else giving you the creative and flow?
Yeah, so I just get so many ideas, like constantly getting ideas.
Yeah.
It's almost tiring. Ideas I have.
Yeah, because they're like, you're on the track now, let's go, kind of.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like it might be a course, or I think like, oh, I could create this type of workshop or this, like there's just so much I want to do, and I used to be so impulsive and just like I'd taken action before I'd even like thought it out, and it's been what has made me successful and where I am. But I've learned now to not always follow whatever comes in, because sometimes that's not for me, and I feel like ideas are floating around in the ether, and some people can pick up on these things and it might feel exciting, but it might not be the right time. But a lot of the time it makes no sense in your head, like I guess it was with starting the radio show. But,
no sense.
but something just feels, it's a feeling, so it feels fun, or it feels exciting, or it's like your soul remembering, or your soul's done something like this before, and so you're like, oh, this feels familiar, this is fun, when it doesn't make sense in your head.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So sometimes inspiration and creativity, it doesn't make sense, like quite literally, and sometimes in, you know, different acts or different tasks in life, it's the same thing. It completely doesn't make sense, but you kind of just have to go with it. What I want to ask is, and the reason why I think I wanted to talk about inspiration is so that the listeners out there, like, we're throwing quite a lot of ideas out there to them, especially in this show and the shows that I've had previously. So how does someone connect to their inspiration? What would you say is a starting point for someone to connect with inspiration, creativity, with flow, with a high power, whatever you want to call it, you know, something outside of their body, outside of, Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'd say just follow what feels fun.
Yeah.
Is that going to be fun? Like, I made some sprays with like essential oils and infused them with crystals under the new moon, and then I put some like sound vibration into the water, and like, you know, I've sold a couple to some and given some away to friends, and if I thought about what it was going to be before I did it, and like, oh, is this going to make me money? Is this going to be a successful venture? Is this going to be this? But I was like, this is going to be fun. Like, this feels witchy and cool. And like, so I just did it. And I think just following the fun, I think you never get in trouble if you're doing something for the fun. And in our society, I think everyone wants to be so productive, or you've got to get you somewhere. But like, just taking it back to like that childlike joy and being in the moment while I'm making all these witchy things, like I'm not thinking about anything else.
Yeah, nice. You are speaking to my heart, if I can say. I can see definitely in the same star signs, because I'm Aquarius, you're a Sagittarius, so we're definitely that free-flowing kind of souls. But you're right, we have taken the fun out of everything, that we need to come back to the fun. I was actually telling my flatmate the other day that go through all of, you know, the ups and downs of life, but make sure you're having fun with it as well. And I see it, you know, when people are out there running, they're like, I'm running. Why not just be, hey, I'm running, look at the trees, look at the sky, kind of thing. We miss out on that. Like, do you agree, or like?
Like we've just been focusing on the end game. Like, this is so overused, this phrase. Like, it's the journey, not the destination. Like, everyone says it, but it's so true.
So true, right?
We just focus on where we want to be, and when we think about where we are, all we can feel is the lack of not being where we want to be. But unless we feel excited and happy and grateful about where we are, when we get to that place, it's not even going to matter.
Yeah, absolutely. So bringing a bit of gratitude into what we do. So I do a Facebook Live as well. So if you want to see us, you know, put a face to the name, you can go to Find the Light Inside on Facebook. But what I said in the break is, what did I say? I forgot. But what I do, I put a challenge out to the people watching, that get into the flow, get into letting go of control, get into the trust. But I think the challenge I want to put out to our listeners is get back to fun. Like, just find something fun to do. It might be baking, like you said, making, crystal sprays with essential oils and sound vibrations. It could be that. It could be like my fun at the moment is just riding my bike over the harbour bridge.
I love riding my bike.
Yeah, see? And then I've got my boogie board that I want to take out into the water. It's just that kind of fun because it changes our mindset, doesn't it, once we have that fun?
Yeah, and like, what did I love doing when I was a kid?
Yeah.
What just like lit me up? Like, and try doing that again and seeing if it just opens your heart and connects you to that fun for no reason, just because it's fun.
Yeah, perfect. We've only got probably about a minute left. So Citadel, I do want to thank you so much for being on the show, and amazing. Like what you said is just been amazing. So thank you so much for being here with me today.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. I will have to have you back on because I do want to talk more about the balance of feminine and masculine energy, because I think that's really going to be a big theme for us this year. So thank you so much. I do want to finish up and play one of your songs. Everybody's Free. What do you think of that? What's the meaning behind Everyone's Free?
So this is a cover of that epic 90s dance tune.
Yeah.
Everybody's free. So
Yeah.
this is just my version of it. I love playing covers of songs that have a really beautiful conscious message.
Yeah, nice. Beautiful, and great song to leave us for the day. So guys, thank you so much for listening. You're listening to Radio Northern Beaches, 88.7, 90.3 FM. I'm Melissa, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Thanks, guys. Yay. So that switch over. Oh my God. Chantel, hi. I'm going to have you on in a couple of weeks, so hey, look at what you're going to be doing. I'm going to wrap this video up, but I'll do a next video in 2 minutes. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, guys.